Hey man, look, don't start this shit tonight.
Share it out. Don't start
this shit tonight, man.
Just tell me what you don't want me to do, man.
Don't start that kicking me off the scene, man, so you get your little 5 minutes of fame. Don't start that shit, man.
Okay, would you like me to go and then you got it? Is that what's happening?
It's the show is called Let's Talk with Gales and Dean, so I like the tandem of us. Don't be kicking me off the screen to get your point across, man. Don't do that shit.
Okay, I will not kick you off the screen. Will you look at the videos and learn how to put yourself back on?
I'll look at the video.
Okay, so we're going to start real quick. Let's Talk with Gales and Dean coming your way. Whew. Yeah, you're on the network. Is wrapping up the network. Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. I'm your boy Gales as usual, and to my left is
I'm gonna let you have it.
That's Mr. Dean. So we are gonna start right away by getting him out the way, and then let's welcome in our guests. We're gonna start with the lovely couple down there. I think that's fair. Go right ahead.
What's going on, everyone?
Hello.
Hope all is well. Good to see y'all, man. Always good to talk basketball, good to talk sports, life, realness. We are the character coach and assistant coach for Columbia Lady Lions basketball. Edwin and Rachel Youngblood. We have been doing this this is our second year. Super excited for just the opportunity to pour into young ladies' lives, to be on the show, to talk about it, and have some fun doing so. So we're excited to be on the show today.
All right. What's the name of your podcast that's coming soon?
Yeah, so we got the Royal Podcast coming up. So we founded Moses Project. This is a nonprofit in the community that shows an emphasis on bringing resources, opportunities, exposure to our community, whether that's through art, business, education, family life, technology, all those things. And with that, man, we're just expanding. We're about to start a podcast here called the Royal Podcast. We're super excited about it. We're going to do about 2 or 3 times a week, and really just bringing hope in the hostile world, man. We have a world, man, so many things going on in our culture, so we just want to bring some light, bring some excitement, bring some joy to people's hearts and spirits, man, and lift them up, because we know everybody's going through it. So we just want to encourage people in that, for sure.
I love it. And listen, this guy's been on a few times, right? Classing up the joint with his wonderful opinions. Mr. Courtney English, go ahead and please tell the people about yourself.
Well, listen to me. Now I'm Coach English on this episode. I'm not playing fitness on this one. Like I said, I've been with this group of coaches right here for the past 2 years. Just an amazing experience. A wonderful girl. Just a lot of wonderful times, and looking forward to talking a little ball with you guys outside of weightlifting now.
And last and definitely not least, man, I got the honor to introduce my best friend for a girl, go all the way back to 5th or 6th grade, Miss Megan Moore, Coach Moore now, but she always be little sister Meg to me, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely an age, too.
Yeah. We ain't got to tell everybody that. I don't look my age.
Absolutely not.
Younger. Y'all just younger. But.
Hey, everybody.
Yourself, Meg.
Yeah, I'm Megan Moore. I am the head coach for Columbia Central Girls Basketball, and y'all have seen 2 of my greatest friends, along with 2 other of my greatest and lifelong friends, and all of us coming together. We have a wonderful group of young ladies, and there's not a better staff and support system that we could have for our program and for these young women, and helping them be successful on and off the court than these 2 right here. So I'm very blessed to have them, and we're excited to be on your show.
We're excited to have y'all on the show, man. I ain't got to introduce my cousin. If I keep introducing him, I'm going to be all day. Y'all know how we rock with each other, man, so I ain't got to introduce him. My guy, Mr. Youngblood down there, though, man, so glad to finally have you back on the show. We had you on about a year or 2 ago, right? on the mental health.
Yes,
That was a
sir.
great
Yes,
show,
sir.
man. I ain't gonna lie, your motivation thing that you do in your story, man, they get me through my days sometimes, bro. Keep that up, man. Keep that up.
Hey,
Like,
man,
for
that's
real.
what it's about, man. Gotta lift each other up for sure, bro. So,
Yeah,
you
man.
already know.
And you're a fellow Florida State Seminole. So yeah.
Yeah, listen. Hey, that's a whole other conversation, man. This might be the year. This might be the bounce
Yeah.
back year.
Yeah, better than them damn Texas Longhorns. Look at him. He don't even know. He just sitting up there. His head all messed up so he can't listen to nobody talk.
Oh, I didn't want to step on your toes. Matter
You
of
can't
fact,
step
producer,
on my toes with your
Producer-
gator toes. Yeah, whatever, man. Anyway, so y'all made a good little run in the tournament, man. Well, in the season, kind of started off shaky, but then y'all progressed all the way through the season. Talk about that, how y'all got the girls focused and almost making a run to the sub-state and hell, possibly the state.
Yeah. I mean, we lost 2 1,000-point scorers last year. So essentially, the team that we had coming back, some of them had some experience, but a lot of them were inexperienced as far as playing time. But essentially, we only had 6 points a game that were returning. And so, yeah, we knew that it would take us a little while. We're definitely undersized. We knew that it would take us a while to figure out, like, hey, who are we? How are we going to score? What are we going to look like? And then, as the season progressed, our staff, we were very headstrong on like, this is who we are. This is our identity. But like, we want to take who our girls are and form our identity around them and the squad that we have this year. And everybody was completely bought in, from our staff down to our, all of our players 1 through 17. And then even our student manager, executive assistant, she was bought in. We had great admin. And because of the buy-in, we knew what our game plan was. We knew who we were. We had our identity. And then that's why we won the district championship, made it through the first round in region and then lost in overtime to the eventual region champs.
I don't want to get off subject, but Tane, they think you got on shoulder pads.
See, that's why I be wearing.
Hey, man, they think you finna suit up, man. Hey, look, man. I know you're a Cowboys fan, man. Look, they need some help. You know what I mean? But I know when I came home, man, I watched y'all play, and the love that you see between the player and the coaches is something you don't see that much anymore. I know when we all played, it was there, but we came from a whole different generation. And for y'all to get those girls to be in tune with y'all like that, y'all could get on them, but I never did see nobody put their head down. Megan, you fiery. Ed, you more laid back, tame, cool. It's 3 different personalities, and Miss Youngblood, she's like the motherly type.
She is our glue. She is our glue.
But it's like 4 different type of personalities, and it bring it all together. And I seen it, and I was like, man, like I'm just in awe because I forgot who y'all playing. Y'all might have been down about 6 or 8 points, but you made a run and came back and blew that game open. And that's what I was looking at, how the girls take to y'all, because like that's kind of hard to get these days. Like it really is, because with the YouTube, the Instagram, you can upload all your videos and stuff. Some of these athletes, they get to the point where, well, I ain't gotta listen to my coach because I'm already gonna make it off my highlights. But these girls literally listen to y'all. So talk about that, how y'all get them to be in tune with y'all and vice versa, how y'all in tune with them.
It definitely starts with us as a staff. Like they see us interacting and, we'll literally stop practice and like walk through stuff. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And we do the same thing with the girls. What do y'all think? There's been times that they're like, no, you need to switch like this person around with this one right here. Like, let's try and switch this play up a little bit more. And so the fact that they had say so, they're just as much a part of the coaching staff. And so we really had like one idea of what we wanted to do and everybody had a say so. And a lot of times it was coming from kids that didn't even play, but because everybody's so bought in, watching from the bench and the sidelines and practicing in games, they see things. And that's their way of contributing. And we welcome that with everybody. And so, I mean, yeah, there's been tough times, but, I can look at those 2 and go, okay, what do we do? Think about this next. They've already got the game plan. This is who we need to sub. Anytime somebody comes out, they already know what needs to be said to them because we're on the same page. The kids are on the same page. So, especially like once after December, because we went through like a little rut. Once we got into like, the thick part of our our schedule, which is where we needed to be, you know, we were gelling, and it does have everything to do with the relationships that we have with the kids. We do character coach on Wednesdays, and Miss Rachel comes in and talks to the girls, and it's always a phenomenal, like 15 minutes, you know, just a reset, which is exactly what we have to have, you know, because we all get caught up. We're all competitors. We all get caught up, you know, in the grind of it. You know, we want to win, but then to be able to reset the way that she allowed us to do. And then also, like, you know, the conversations that we have as a staff, like, hey, like, we got to cool it a little bit. Like, maybe this is how the girls are feeling. And so, like, there are hard conversations that have to be had, but they have to be had. And so, and that's kind of who we are as a staff. And so that's why I kind of think you saw what you saw of, like, we can talk about it, we can fix it, we can communicate it. It's going to be explained. They understand the how and the why, but also we got some dogs. Like, you want to talk about like old school, like, these girls want it. You want to talk about, they watch 30 hours of film amongst all of them, like on average throughout the week. And we talk about it. I mean, they fight. They don't care about size. They got heart. They got a dog in them. And like you said, you don't find that anymore.
Young Blood, speak on it a little bit and then Tame to get your input on, like, y'all and Miss Young Blood. I want to know all of y'all different relationship with the girls, because every last one of y'all are different in a way.
Right. Yeah. I think Coach Moore hit the nail on the head there. Like, we're all on the same page, but we can approach it in different ways. And I think the key thing with even approaching these young ladies, as competitive as they are, we want to make sure that we're valuing the holistic person, you know, so we see them, you know, on the court, and we see the fire, but we also see the femininity, and we see like the emotion, we see the mental, we see the spiritual. So we're really keen on really trying to make sure that the whole person is coming out, and that we're there for them. So with us being on the same page, we can see things that somebody else might not see, or we can already kind of have an idea on where this certain player is, and, you know, what they're looking for, what they need. So I think really just taking that holistic approach towards the player, and not just looking at them as ball players and students, but we want you to excel at home. We want you to excel in the community. We want you to excel in the classroom, on the court, you know, spiritually, whatever that looks like. So I think that's key. So that, and I think they see that, like, oh, you really care about us, and that helps to bring the best out of them. So yeah,
definitely. I mean, for one, you're walking into a phenomenal day every day, because the staff, as was stated, they're phenomenal, and the students are phenomenal. So it just brings such an opportunity for everyone to bring forth whatever they have to bring to the table and leave it there. The other piece of it is truly, there is an element of performance that definitely we want everyone to excel to the best that they can. But then there's also this piece of just who you are, you're enough, and you're valued. And that is really important, to make sure that each person knows just how valued they are, no matter what they end up scoring, whatever they end up doing in the game or in practice, whatever it is, at the end of the day, they know that they are valued. And that is just huge as we go through life. I mean, because even beyond the game, like, what do I do when I'm just there by myself? So it's just, it's very important to us to make sure that they know who they are from a holistic perspective, like Ed was saying.
And Tame, man, I see the videos. I was there in person. You the cool coach, but you get them hyped. But I also see when you get serious with them too. You know what I mean? So you coming from all different angles, and I see how they take to that. How did that make you feel? How they take to that? If they know you there for their best interests. It's more what I'm trying to say.
Right. You know, the big thing is, and kind of piggybacking off of, you know, what everybody said along, is making them understand that we care more outside of basketball than we do on the court, you know, and getting them to understand that we truly have their best in heart. I really think is what led to the big culture that we had this season. Because like I said, I mean, like Megan said, we lost 2 1,000-point scores. We didn't have them last year in one game, and it was kind of like, whoa, like what's going on, you know? But them girls, when I say work, they work so hard. Before practice, after practice, like I said, watching, game film just as much as we watch game film. And so and I did take on, because I kind of came in as the big brother. They took to me as the big brother, but still also understanding when it's time to buckle down, it's time to buckle down. And so I'm just so proud of them, man. We praise them, with us as a coaching staff, like it's been stated, we come together, it was some days we talk as coaches all the way to the fourth quarter of the boys game, about, what we could have done better, what we need to do next, what we're going to do in practice, and things like that, and we had a couple hard conversations with each other, but the best thing about it was those conversations ended with laughter, joking, praise. It was like we came to the conclusion, and then we went forth. And and we really, like I said, we also had a tough part of the schedule. So where we played like 4 or 5 top 5 teams in the state in a row. Like it was a gauntlet,
Yeah.
But
I seen that, man, because just following y'all on social media and on your page and Megan page and Youngblood, I'm like, damn, they playing some of the best teams, not in the mid-state of Tennessee, in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And wait till you see next year's.
I already heard a little bit of it, but that only gets you ready for the postseason, though.
Yeah.
That only gets you ready for the postseason. One of the coolest moments I seen before. I got a couple other questions to ask y'all, like who the toughest and everything. But one of the coolest moments I seen on y'all page, the tall girl. I don't think she started at the beginning of the season, but she came off the bench and gave y'all a spark one game, and the love that y'all gave her and her teammates, dude. That was
there's no bench like ours. We have the best bench.
Oh yeah, y'all bench. Hey, I was at the game and I'm getting hyped. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this, I'm getting hyped. But when I seen that with that Pacific with that girl, the tall girl, man, that was so. It was like one of those. It make you emotional. Emotional because she wasn't a starter, but she came in and did that, and then from me following Tane Page on through the years, it just looked like she just got better and better and better to the point I think she got a scholarship, right?
She did.
See what I'm saying? Them the type of stories that you love to hear. Them are the type of stories that you love to hear. But I take it and I give it to you guys coaching. Y'all stayed on her, stayed working with her. Nobody gave up on her. She didn't give up on herself. Because any kid that's not getting to play like that or anything, y'all know they'll give up on themselves, especially today, and they'll quit and they'll just pack it up and be like, I'm going to find something else to do. And she didn't. And that was just one of the best stories that I seen from y'all basketball program this year. If y'all want to talk on that real quick.
Her background is she just came to Columbia Central last year, didn't play the previous year because of COVID, didn't really do much at the school that she was at her freshman year. So, she really hadn't played ball in 2 years whenever she came to us. Super shy. She didn't talk to any of us last year. She was there. She was a workhorse. She had no playing time whatsoever, except for in JV games. And she actually couldn't even play summer ball with us because she works full time, especially in the summer, because she has her own bills that she has to pay. But that girl was on the blacktop in June and July, working her tail off because she made the conscious decision that she was invested and she loves us. She loves the team. We love her. And so she wanted to come back, and she do. And she did. She worked hard. She was never deterrent from anything. She has a high IQ for someone and she's only reached, I think y'all can agree, maybe 30% of her talent level, just because she's just now starting to reach that. But her basketball IQ is phenomenal. And so she saw, hey, I have the height. This is what we need. I'm going to go in, not do anything more. And because she had confidence in the things that we needed her to do, then that continued to grow and grow. And that's why she was at where she was. And that's why she got a scholarship at the end of the season.
Ms. Youngblood, you want to speak on that too?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. She definitely is, like you said, a beautiful emotional story of just what it means to stay dedicated, stay focused, just be committed, not give up. And we just love that because that's what is really impressing the kind of character that's needed to just go through life. Just stay focused, get surrounded with people who are going to champion you as well. That's important to do. And so she's doing that, and we're looking forward to just the next steps for Layla, because she is just a phenomenal person all around.
Y'all see why we love her?
Yeah, and Miss Young, but let me ask you, what brought you to the coaching business? Outside of Edwin,
Hey man, she had no choice. She had no choice.
I was coming in because of his greatness. I was just brought in because of that. Coach Moore is fantastic. She was enveloping us. So I'm just thankful to just tag along.
That's great. And I got a couple questions.
Whenever any of us getting too hot, man, whenever we getting too heated, we just look over at Miss Rachel, man. We look over Rachel. She calm everybody down.
Yeah.
She did. Says, give us that woo time, man. Give us that woo.
I know when I would get hype and stuff like that, you would feel like this soft hand like pat you on the back, and you already do it, and you just kind of like.
Hey, Miss Rachel, look, we needed you there back in our Spring Hill days. Edwin always was a calm player, but when he got hyped and he got mad, it came out. We needed you back then to calm Edwin down. It was shocking. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it was shocking because when you see Edwin would get a little outraged. I'm like, all right, man, you kind of took my spot because I was the hot head. But I'm like, all right, but I liked it though because I'm that type player. I liked it. But we probably needed you back then about 20-some years ago. I know Edwin don't look it, but about 20-some years ago, we probably needed you back then. But now, in all goodness though, like basketball player, Edwin one of the best ones around. And I ain't just saying that because I played with you, dog. Like when this man went to Rucker Park for the summer, went back over to Jersey and spent the whole summer, and he came back his senior year, he was snatching people's souls. I ain't gonna lie. It was bad. It was bad, man.
Hey, man.
He got me a couple of times to practice. I don't like that. Got me a couple of times to practice. I ain't gonna use to admit to it, but I'm a little older now. He got me, He ain't make me fall like Gales or nothing, but like Gales got dunked on.
Yeah, poor Gale's trying too hard while everybody else watching the show.
That's all right, man. Look, I still love you, man. It's all right. Everybody gets on.
I gotta push back on something.
I think Tame got you too.
Edwin Youngblood. Oh, give me that footage. We need proof. Either way, I don't care. Like I literally said a couple shows ago, Tame, and you can go back and look at it. I was like, all right, he got me. Right? Unless there's evidence that shows otherwise. He dunked on me. Okay, now what? Still got the best wife in the nation. You know what I'm saying? I lead the league in parenting, right? Get the crap out of here. I challenge any of you right now. But I gotta push back. The words young blood and like temper, I can't see it. Edwin Youngblood was one of these guys that if everybody is clowning on each other, right? He would always come back with, you might be right. I thought that was brilliant. Brilliant. What do you do? Dean got his shows. Oh, Ed, blah, blah, blah. You might be right. Okay. You want to warm up?
I ain't got time to go back and forth, man. Hey.
Look, man. Look, it wasn't often. I played ball with Edwin all 4 years. Well, I was Spring 4 years. I played with Edwin. Got to play with him too. I might have seen him that temper like twice. So it didn't never go out. He was a calm player. He was like that silent assassin. Like if you made Edwin mad, it wasn't gonna be no emotion, but he gonna give you 30. He had about 30 in the game. It was never seen player. Hey, when it did come out, I liked it.
I wasn't doing a lot of this at the time, man. I wasn't doing a lot of that.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that because me and Gales had a preview on this, and we're gonna get into that. But before we do, y'all, this is no disrespect to you, Megan, because you was a hell of an athlete. But y'all got one of the best, if not the best, women's athlete in Murray County that we probably done seen in Savia Morgan.
Oh, yes.
I'm talking about
yes.
Nothing that I haven't seen her that she cannot do. Just athlete. That's what you categorize her. She's one of the best athletes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I've said it numerous of times. When you talk about best pure athlete, like I said, man or women, like we're not really. A lot of people don't understand that you're watching that generational talent.
Yeah.
A girl that can go out and score 30 points and then can go out on the softball field and hit 700 in a season, and then go out in a flag football game and rush for 200 yards and 5 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like,
and can do backflip after backflip after backflip.
Yeah. So it's a joy and it's an honor, honestly, to be able to like be a coach.
She's the 1%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like y'all know, we had some amazing women athletes come through Maury County. You know, Megan being one. You had it's just too many. You had Teresa. You had I'm not being biased.
I mean, you had Koki and
Central had a ton. You had
you had that 04 class or 03 class.
What's Miss Blue? She was a good basketball player.
Rachel Gobble back in the day.
Gobble, not Litaba, but Tashiro. I mean, like, just all those women athletes. But Sabaya is one of a kind.
Special.
Yeah. Like I'm being for real. Like she'd get in the game and have like 30 steals. And I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, she leads the state in 4A in steals the last 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got Gail's talking shit in the comments, y'all, but I ain't gonna pay him no attention.
Hey, the man. Yeah. Go ahead. What was your point?
And just to expound on Sabaya, like she'll be in, like during the JV games, man, she's making sure that the JV kids got water. You know, she's keeping the book, making sure, you know what I mean, like everything's straight. So beyond her talent, I can appreciate her personality and her temperament and her ability to bring everybody together. You know, she really don't even, you know, I can really like all that shine. You know, it comes on her because she's so skilled, but she's so humble and really just such a great young lady. So it is, man. It's an honor to see her play and compete at a high level.
Producer, can we get the pastor off, please? Thank you. My goodness. Which one of y'all is the best basketball player?
Between us two or the three of us?
The four of you. Who's the best on the
Rachel.
coaching staff?
Yeah, I'm going
Rachel's
right.
the best.
Yeah, I'm going right.
Right now.
It ain't me right now.
I don't buy it. I don't buy
Rachel,
it.
you can hoop.
I don't buy it. No offense.
Oh,
that's cold-blooded.
Yeah, Rachel can hoop.
Not the pastor capping. We're gonna talk after this. All
so
right,
where did you play ball at, Miss Rachel?
Shit.
Nowhere.
Shit.
Nowhere. I'm not yet.
I don't know why he asked that question. I think Dean trying to clown you, man. He just said you don't hoop. Oh, where did you play ball at? What the crap was that? I'm sorry for getting emotional.
Okay.
Speaking of emotional, Caitlin Clark, that situation. What is your take, Mr. Dean? I'm gonna let you get back on here. Like, we disagree on something, but we don't know exactly what. Like, what exactly is your take, sir?
Because when we started this conversation the other day, and I said I seen nothing wrong what Angel Reese did because it's part of ball. If anybody plays sports, talking trash is part of it, right? They even do it in baseball now. Baseball is one of the biggest trash talking sports that it is now, and I love it. I love it. You were trying to clap back and say that Angel Reese was kind of in the wrong for what she did.
Okay, so that's as the kids say, it's cap. We were talking about how people were talking about that instead of talking about the type of offense they were running, the defense they were running. They made it this huge thug versus, darling thing. That's what we were talking about. And what I'm saying is, like, the bigger picture with this Jill Biden stuff is what? Does anybody have an answer to that? What do y'all think Jill Biden was trying to do? Was it actually racism? Was it just misunderstanding? Was she just saying, yay, go girl power? Like, what exactly was she doing?
Well, I'll jump in on that. I don't, like it was one of those things, like in my eyes, I felt like in her eyes, she didn't feel as if the LSU culture was what she wanted to represent at the White House. Now, our fits more of what it is that I feel like in her eyes that she wanted to have. So I think that she kind of felt like bringing Iowa with LSU would kind of dilute the situation a little bit. And I really didn't agree, but I didn't agree with it at all because winners go to the White House. You know, no matter who they are, no matter what, how good the game was. I mean, because the game really wasn't that good. If we're going to be honest, it's not like it was a double overtime game. You know, buzzer beater. You know, something like that. I mean, LSU came out and I mean they gave them their work, especially in the second half. You know,
the shooting percentage.
Yeah.
Right. Young Bloods, what y'all think about that?
Yeah, sometimes we can select who we give passes to and who we don't give passes to. We know that you know, the Biden administration is partly responsible for helping to bring Brittany Griner home. So sometimes you're like, man, I'm gonna give you a pass on that. That was a slip. But I do agree with Tame. Like, it was just, I think she was trying to capitalize on the exposure of women's basketball. And at the same time, I do agree that there was probably a piece of like, man, it'd be nice to have, you know, this Caitlin Clark phenomenon at the White House to continue to capitalize on that. But I think winners need to go to the White House. I'm not upset. This Generation Z, man, they gonna speak their truth. They unashamed, unapologetic about it. I don't care if you're the first lady, anything. So I mean, that's just what it is. But I think that for sure, it's you know, it's super delicate. We know it's real. You know, for those that don't think that, you know, that type of marginalization, that, you know, like that double standard is not there. It is there. It's a real thing. I mean, we can attest to it. We see it. And and I think we have to speak out when those things, you know, kind of arise, so that we can address it and approach it and even bring awareness to it. So
whether it's malicious or neglect, right? Just call it out, fix the mistake, and move on. Nobody should be fired or kicked out or shamed like the way the first lady was. Mrs. Coach Moore. Did I get that right? Mrs. Coach Moore? Coach Mrs. Moore.
That's whatever.
Megan.
I definitely see where Angel's coming from. I think if it was vice versa, if Iowa had won, I don't think, you know, the first lady would have made that comment. I don't think she would have said, well, let's bring Iowa and LSU. And, you know, we see a lot with our girls program and what is said to them and about them and against them. And there's a lot of stuff that is constantly said about LSU coaching staff, players. At some point in time, like, you get tired of it. Like, put some respect on my name. And I think that's what she was saying. Like, we won. This is tradition. That should not have been the first thing that came out of your mouth. So I think, you know, it's important because perception is a lot. You know, do we think that things should be phrased certain ways? Absolutely. In hindsight, absolutely. But knowing us as a staff and our kids, I don't think that we would have answered any differently, because whenever you are passionate about something and you're tired of seeing something, then you're going to answer it openly and honestly. And I commend her, because as much criticism as she gets, now it's just no holds back. Okay, well, if you're going to criticize me, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I think anyway.
Man, that's brilliant. And I think they're just hating on her because of her style. Because that suit she wore in the championship game, I'm about to go get me a duplicate made. I think I'm playing. I'm about to rock that in her honor, that gummit. So yeah, man. No, I'll give you plenty of material to clown me on. This dude's been on me since 6th grade, y'all.
I can't. I got a messed up thumb. You can clown on me on that right there.
That's all right. What's up for you, buddy? So here's what I'm saying. Occam's razor, right? Probably the simplest thing is true. She thought, this is nice. Let's celebrate women. They're breaking all kinds of records, I believe, right? Yeah. Breaking all kinds of records. The highest scoring final, that's a record. The highest scoring half in the final, most doubles. And it's like, there was a lot going on, a lot that they could have talked about. But unfortunately, it's always the negative stuff that kind of gets the clicks, right? So I really do think she was just trying to say, you know, yay, women, celebrate, right? And Craig Jude is absolutely right. Angel is the smartest person out there right now, because she is on every show, really taking the heel position, right? Like, come on, capitalize, right? We're a capitalistic country. Capitalize on this moment. Yeah.
But the thing is, and I like Caitlin Clark. I went on to say she's the female version of Steph Curry. That's what I think. Shooting wise. Could be anyway. But when she did all that to South Carolina, she was praised for that. Y'all do know that, right? But Angel Reese do that to her, and it's the end of the world. Now, say if South Carolina had made it, and Angel Reese had did that to South Carolina, do y'all think it would have got the same reaction? Hell no. No, it would not have. Because they would have been like, that's just what we do. But since she did that to Caitlin Clark, it was a big problem. But when Caitlin Clark did it to South Carolina, I mean, she waved at the girl at the 3-point line like, you can't hit it. And then she did all that. It was praised. Oh, she a dog. She tough. And she is. Like, we ain't taking none of that from her. She is. But the thing about it, when Angel Reese did it to Caitlin Clark, her parents didn't come out on Twitter or anything, complain about it. She didn't complain about it. Because if you know y'all being coaches and you got a comparator like that, she was probably in the gym that night working on her craft, said, we're going to get them back next year. Like me and my cousin talked about, probably telling her coach, schedule them first game. I want my get back. She didn't cry one time. So if she wasn't hurt about it, why is America's society hurt about it?
America's society is not hurt about it.
Many times sports is a microcosm of what's going on in our world, you know, and in no way are we like endorsing as high school coaches to go in somebody's face and do that, especially on a high school level. But we are saying, like, as an athlete, as African-American athletes, or that you have just as much value and significance. And if you feel like you don't, we're going to speak that into you and allow you to know that you are a dignified young lady that, you know, that can be emotional, that can get hype, that can have fun, you know. So we're not like endorsing like what Angel Reese did. You know, that's more the college pro level type of vibe. High school sports, we want to, you know, keep things 100. But at the same time, man, we want to make sure that those implications on, because we have high school kids that are seeing that, and that can get projected on them. So it's important for us to speak into those places. So I think Courtney, Megan, everybody spoke into it, just to bring kind of a balanced perspective on value and worth. And that's why, you know, Rachel is so important. You know, she might not know like the details, the X's and O's, but she's definitely has that discernment to know what's going on in these girls on a whole different level, which is great.
Well, I want you to speak on that. Mrs. Coach Youngblood, man, that's a lot. Speak on that. Like, when you see a situation like that, and here's what I'm saying. I want people to zoom out just a little bit. I just made the statement. America's not really upset at this. America does whatever people tell them to do. And what people are always trying to do is make money. As foot traffic, whether it be in person or online, really does have a direct correlation to ad space, revenue, and profit. So of course they kind of blow this up. She was doing that the entire season to everybody she left in her wake. Nobody is actually mad about this. They kind of whooped it up to make it political and everything else, and everybody went to their corners on that. But if you zoom out a little bit, I think there's way much more there. So what are you telling your girls in this situation? Like, I want to hear from Mrs. Coach Youngblood. I got to work on this. Mrs. Coach Youngblood, is that okay?
Well, for one, I was really ecstatic that Caitlin said anything, because I really do believe that sometimes just the peers kind of squashing things to help set the tone is what you're saying is, you know, athletes leading and helping people understand what's important and what's not. I think to really kind of speak to the fact that this is a game, this is what we do, I think is very important to reshape what's really happening on the court. Just this opportunity to be challenged and go in a place where I can put everything out there, and then at the end there's a winner and there's not. So, you know, taking that. But I think it's really important, like I was saying, even with Layla, just to remember to always stay locked in, stay focused. And to just continue to surround yourself. I mean, she has an entire team to go and continue to celebrate with. I think it's really important. There's always going to be outside noise. There will always be outside noise. What is it that we will do to stay focused in and also to speak well. I think it's important. It wasn't horrible at all to speak well about how I can't take this and what I'm actually going through. Right? I think not processing through real feelings is not healthy. I think people should do that. But then also, where do I take those feelings? What do I do with them? What do I do to reset so I can just get back in and celebrate, not take that away from any of my team, any of my coaches, not take away those moments. I think that's something that we would definitely continue to encourage, is that they continue to know that this is their moment to celebrate a championship.
So if this happened in the men's game, do you think it would matter? Will we care so much? If this same place took place, say Florida Atlantic had did that to who did they play? What was the Final Four? I can't remember. Anyway, if one of the guys had it from
UConn, yeah.
So take one of those 4 teams. If one of them had did it to each other, would it be as big of a headline? And would we even give a daggone? I say no.
No. For 30 seconds, we'll care. Like, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right. We used to seeing that. We used to seeing that with men, and it men's sports. It don't matter what color. If you look at the NBA, it happens all the time. Like it's you got Braun crowning himself, which he ain't the king, but anyway, that's a different stuff, a different day.
What you say?
Hey man,
You heard
hold on now.
You got, even Steph, when Steph shoot the 3 and he turn and look at the opposing bench and run off, like, so I mean, you can say that's disrespectful, but we like that though. Like we embrace that. But if a woman in the WNBA did it or something, then it's a problem. I don't see why not. Let them shine too like that. I see nothing wrong with this situation. I didn't see nothing wrong when Caitlin Clark did it. I didn't see nothing wrong when Angel Reese did it. But the media and America made it a problem.
And Derek Walker was speaking to that exact thing. Look, we're going to take a small commercial break because there's some people in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area. If you are dealing with somebody with Alzheimer's and dementia, just know that there's support systems out there, and you just have to know where to look. One place that we have partnered with and we love dearly is my old job, and it's Mayberry Senior Services, because you need a break. Go take a nap. Go get some bills done, whatever, house cleaning, have lunch with friends while they take care of your loved one in a safe, engaging environment. So let's take a look.
I love her so much, but I need time alone to catch up on things.
The nursing home is not an option for me. I just can't leave her.
If you've been struggling to take care of a loved one, Mayberry Senior Services can help. Our day program is a cost-effective alternative to assisted living or in-home care. We provide engaging activities and assistance with trained staff who are dedicated to improving quality of life. Join our Mayberry family. Call to schedule a tour today.
All right, thank you to them. I want to speak to Coach Moore here. How hard is it for you, I don't know, to kind of balance what people may perceive you are as one of our white brethren, like coaching, I'm assuming a predominantly black squad. Like, how do you bridge the gaps of mistrust that they may or may not have?
I think sometimes, they point stuff out to me like, oh, did you know this? And whenever we talk about, because it's important to have conversations, but just as important as anything, we have to be able to listen. I'll be honest, we see it with predominantly black staff, predominantly black team. We see the stereotypes that come along with not just women in general, but black young women, especially whenever we travel into predominantly white schools. There are things that are said and perceived, and we do have to have those conversations with the girls. And it's unfortunate because you see these young women that are being looked at other than the female athletes that they are, and not just female athletes, other than the athletes that they are. And there are stereotypes that are put against them, that are put against us, that are very unfair, that are very realistic. So whenever people say oh, well, it doesn't exist. No, it doesn't exist because you don't see it. but it's very different whenever we see it. I see it, and it is an issue. And so it's not just, women's sports that we're fighting for. It is, the African American community, because there are things that continue to be said and done, even within our own county, that perception is everything, whenever their perception has absolutely nothing to do with who we are and what we're about. And it's really a shame. But what we do is we have those conversations with our young women, and we tell them our job is to put you in a bubble, and we're walking around that bubble, making sure nobody gets inside of it. And so that's kind of where I stand with it.
Youngblood team, have y'all ever had to come to the defense of Meg, like at a game, from either parents of the opposing team or the opposing team coach or the opposing team crowd trying to, attack Meg, and, y'all had to come to her defense? Because, she like a little sister to us. So.
I think that situation happened in probably almost every area that you just named, and probably add on a couple. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's the thing about it. Like we're gonna battle for each other, period. Coaching staff, players, whatever the situation may be. That was the best thing about this team and why this team came together so long. Because like we say the word culture like a lot, but that was one thing that we really really embedded into the girls. That's a couple of times, where like I got a little rowdy, and I had to get pulled back on some certain situations. Because like I said, speaking on this topic, in some situations, like it was obvious. From our girls being provoked to try to get a reaction out of them. But the best thing about our girls is that they never gave a reaction. Bad calls, things like that. There wasn't no talking to the ref or nothing like that. It was like, okay, cool, boom, we back at it. And I'm very proud of our girls and for them in that matter.
Yeah, and so Meg, let me ask you, because I know you were the fiery player back in the day when you played. You did a little bit of trash talk, right?
A little bit.
And you got it back, right?
Absolutely. And I hated it.
See, but did you take it to? But you had to take it to the extreme that this kid took to.
No, and I probably would have done the same thing that Caitlin Clark did. Of it is what it is. And like you said, I would have okay, cool, let's run it back. I lost.
Right.
She said put a ring on it. She mimicked something that I had done. I wouldn't be upset about it. The only thing I'll say to it is you see way too many fights these days. And if I'm just looking bigger picture, is the not taunting, but just she just won a national championship. I'm thinking about the emotional aspect of it. One, I think Caitlin Clark got the brunt of waving off the South Carolina player. That was their game plan. I hate that a team of players is getting scrutinized for the game plan that their coach came up with. And you can't dispute the game plan that they came up with. Does the waving off thing, is that like it? But that's high emotions. That's just the competitive part of it. She wouldn't have been upset if somebody did that to her. And so, Angel Reese is coming into it. The only thing I can say is, had that been, because you saw the Memphis player, punch another girl in the line. You see other kids that are getting into fights over really, really small things whenever emotions are really, really heated. And so the only thing that would have been terrible in that certain situation, had another player, maybe not Clark, but had another player reacted to the reaction of Angel Reese following her kind of around the court on the free throw line, it would have 1,000% taken away from the moment that LSU absolutely earned. And that's the only thing in my mind of perception, and in the moment not wanting to take away everything that they have accomplished this year. That would be the only thing that I would think about it. And that was really the only thing I thought in that situation. But other than that, what's the difference between a man doing it and a woman doing it? She's fiery too. And if I'm thinking that one of my team, but we also, in perception, we don't understand everything that Angel Reese has seen and everything that Caitlin Clark has seen. We don't know, because, she originally did it to Haley Van Lith, at Louisville. We don't know the conversations that were happening between them and back and forth. We don't know what was being said in the stands. We don't know what trash talk was going on between Angel and Caitlin in the game, or between other players in the game. Or we don't know if some of the South Carolina players are best friends with some of the LSU players, and they felt like, because y'all know good and well, we're going to defend who we feel like our people are. And so if that's all she was doing, we don't know the context 100%. So for anybody to judge, or America to judge, or definitely for it to become a race thing, was just beyond anything that ever should have happened. So women are going to be young women. Everybody has different personalities. If that's what she chose to show in the heat of the moment, winning a national championship, I know we all did things whenever we get excited and amped up about stuff. I know we've all done things that we're like, maybe.
Speak for
maybe
yourself.
that wasn't like.
Hell, I got kicked out of alumni game for my emotions.
We know in the first quarter.
Hey, history was made. We
I
lost.
wasn't gonna bring
But we lost. Check this out. We lost, but
Badly.
I won in the end because that shit will forever be talked about.
Pay the man. So the idea that Dean had more text than points, to me, is just simply adorable, right? Simply adorable. But to Megan's point, I need people to understand like how the game works.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that. Nobody's talking about this. The most watched women's championship game, right? These two young ladies and the rest of the team's doing well. Nobody really cares about all this. We're being told what to think and how to think. And you can say media, but bro, that's our fault. They know what we like. They know what we want. We like messy things. It's as simple as that. So if you pull back and understand the advertisement and the profiting of aspect of it, and then pull even further back, we got Reverend Youngblood down there. Excuse me if not technically a reverend. I just thought it sounded funny. But if you peel that back even a little bit more, there's a constant spiritual battle going on. Stalks is like a roaring lion as it goes.
Yeah.
So once you understand that, then we start to hold people accountable. All we have to do is if people start talking or race baiting, you turn the TV off, you change the channel. And they have real-time algorithms that say, hey, stop talking about that. I mean, Fox News leaked out when Trump was under, I'm not gonna talk about that guy. All right, I'm not trying to get political here. But when Trump started slipping up, all of a sudden, the ironclad, very private Fox News group there literally let slip how much they actually hate Trump. Like, it's a game within a game within a game. And once we start understanding how to play it, we can get better things on TV. We, the people, are what allows things to happen. It's that bell curve, right? You got this side, it loops up in that side, and most people are in the middle, whether they realize it or not. So I'm trying to figure out a way to, like, how can we wake people up to that so we can get some real things done? Like, even with the NIL deals, the fact that people are upset at that, like, they still don't get a cut from those multi-billion-dollar TV deals. They don't get a cut from merchandising. They don't get a cut from ticketing, from nothing. They are just
They've never been there.
Right. Well, they're now allowed to use their own name to make money.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Clifton McKnight. I don't know why. Anytime I read people's comments, I always hear their voice. Dean, give me a good Clifton McKnight impersonation here.
I ain't gonna do it. You get down with the Brown.
Down with the Brown. Podcast coming soon. All right, so look. What are you telling your kids and parents in order to prepare them for this level and the next? I'll start with the head coach there, then we'll go to young bloods, and then Tame will finish it off, and then we'll let you guys promo and get you out of here. Past your bedtime.
Well, are you asking as far as like the recruiting process and the NIL, or are we talking about the type of like player that we're saying you should emulate?
Okay. Life advice. So when I was coaching high school, right, and I got lucky, inherited a very good team, and we went undefeated and won the championship. One of the things I really loved about that team is the coaching staff was okay with taking a whole period to just be a mental health break period. He'd have everybody lay down their backs, close their eyes, breathe deeply, right, purposefully. And each position coach will go around, let your problems go, whatever's bothering you, check it now, do this. It was like a reset, and really trying to get them to understand the mental aspects of the game. Like that's where the biggest game is played, is in your head. So I'm asking, what's your life advice to give student athletes and parents just in general?
Be who you are. Like you know who you are outside of basketball, and go to a program that you feel like you can thrive outside of basketball with the coaching staff, with the players. You feel like you can have internal and external growth. Don't be somebody that you're not. You know, don't feel like now if your identity isn't like Angel Reese's, in the sense of like, this is who you are, this is your personality, like you are fiery, like you're just going off of instinct and emotion, you know, don't feel like you have to be that and now you're a great basketball player. Because a lot of times the things that we see on TV collegiately or professionally, we don't see, okay, who they were at the point of these young people's lives. And so you haven't arrived yet. I mean, ultimately is what I'm trying to say. And until you've arrived, then you kind of need to stay grounded and understand the aspect of it. Like understand how to get your NIL deal. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, reach out to colleges because you can do that. Everybody these days feels like recruiters, like, oh, you have to come find me. Like it's a super prideful thing. With the transfer portal and NIL, it ain't like that no more. And so study, research, but at the same time, like be who you are, stay grounded, stay in the gym. And then whenever you get where you're going to go, be the player that you want to be and whoever that you are. And mentally, that's the best thing that you can do for yourself.
That's amazing. Like, and you hit the nail on the head right there, right? Be yourself, but understand your power. It's not like it used to be. Like all those lies coaches were saying, hey, it's about the university and blah, blah, blah. Stay put, stay put. Ooh, an extra $1 million? Bye, kids.
Yeah.
But let one of these kids do it. Oh, they got no respect. They're soft. They're like, no, it's a business, and they're starting to understand it's a business, and they're starting to treat it in a business-like manner. Okay, let's go with Mrs. Coach Youngblood. Then we go to Mr. Coach Youngblood. That should be a T-shirt.
It's really important to just have a mental reset all the time. I just renewing everyone with what is God saying that is of value for me in these times. What's my current goal? What are my future goals? Just to kind of have a plan kind of in the forefront. It's important to me for parent-student relationships to be strong, for coaching-student relationships to be strong, for this to understand that you're part of a community and we need each other to help each other get to different places. And we're the people around, we want to be able to support and not feel like anyone's alone or that anyone's against. So just to continue to develop that kind of rapport that we can help with really strengthening each other, to just know that you're in this as a unit, as a system of supporting, and just knowing that someone is believing in you. I think that's really important to communicate to everyone.
Yeah, just to add to that, man, I would just encourage parents and players and coaches to really enjoy this window. It's a 4-year window with these girls max, and to really enjoy it and understand that it is a pivotal place that helps shape them. But you can just sometimes I feel like, we can take it too seriously and, project that on these kids, man, when, they're going through different things, man. And like, it's crazy, I'm aging myself, but we didn't have social media, growing up. So for us to be like, man, be a back in the day coach. Back in my day, we had to do this, and this. Well, it's a new season. It's a new day. Israel Houghton song. But I think we really just need to get back to having fun, understanding that it is a game, and that God's got you. That's going to work it out, and compete at the highest level. Walk in your own excellence. Don't compare yourself. And also, man, I want to encourage the community, to come out, man. These girls are competitive. Man, they're gifted. They work hard. Let's not show up at 6:45 for the men's game. Man, let's get there early for these girls, man, and support them out here because they are going after it, and it's fun. It's fun to just see them excel at the high level.
Absolutely. Let me ask y'all a quick side question before we can get to Tame there. Social media exists how it does today during Jordan's, let's say, last year in college and on. Is his legacy still intact?
Hell yeah.
No.
Man.
Well, I will say that social media creates different narratives. So when he got with Nike and the NBA, those were two primary narratives that were going to lift him up. So there was not a lot of pushback. So that's why, and I love Jordan growing up. I'm a LeBron dude. I thought I'd wake Dean up a little bit, but
don't you do it? Don't you do it, Edwin?
At the same time, and we'll keep it moving. But I do think all of these voices with social media, and then you got shows like First Take, all these debate shows. So I think it probably would have been a little bit different, but you can't create the time you was born in and played in. As
we hear stories about him and Chuck pulling up to a light, Chuck pulls out $100 bill for an unhoused person. Jordan snatches it away. Hey man, go get you an application at McDonald's. Jets off. Right? As you hear about the altercation with Kerr, as you hear about some of the most horrific things ever uttered by a human being on that basketball court, I don't think his legacy is the same. He's not number one in championships. He's not number one in scoring, defense, rebounds. He's got scoring titles, that by far, but what else does he have on paper? Now you add the idea that you don't really hear him unless he's giving a well-groomed answer after a ball game, right? You don't hear from him unless he's giving a well-groomed answer after a ball game. Everything else is Nike, NBA, want to be like Mike, building the mythos. I see Dean shaking. Go ahead, Dean. Let's hear it, man. Let's hear it.
I'm not gonna do it.
You trying to get
I'm not gonna do it because if I do, we're gonna be able to show another hour. I'm not gonna do it. And I'm not, another reason I'm not gonna do it, because my language, I'm respecting the young blood, because I would be on you right now about this. So I'm not gonna do it on this show.
So you're saying you're not smart enough to say what you gotta say without language? You're not smart enough to say what you want to say without language?
Yes, I am, but it's not gonna be Dean unless I say it with language.
Let's hear it. Clean your language up and tell me, okay, fine. If you don't want to work that gum, go sit in the back. Here's what I'm saying. We're not looking at Michael Jordan the same way. He absolutely changed the game and made other people want to be, quote unquote, like Mike. The difference between him and LeBron, you can't be like LeBron because LeBron is a giant phenom that happens once every 3,000 frapping years. So it's hard to say, yeah, be like LeBron.
But you got to look at that. LeBron, if social media came out in 84, like kind of like how you saying, then LeBron wouldn't be who he is right now. Because like LeBron came out on the beginning end of social media. So like by this time, like everybody's gonna be, it would have been more diluted now than anything, because if you look at where he is now, even on the back end of LeBron's career, now it's a lot of negative with LeBron now. You know what I mean? On the back end of it. So coming in, I felt like he'd have been more of a villain if social media would have been 20 years already in the making. Mm-hmm. But at first he was praised as, the king, coming out. So he had a good story.
That's a good name though. Come on, King James Bible, LeBron James, like it's a marketing masterpiece right there. Like it had nothing to do with his actual skill set. It was like, ooh, cool. Like you understand why we even like Pepsi and Coke? Because they told us to. You understand? And they literally put it everywhere. Ooh, Jeremy Brown is saying, Say again?
Who told you to like Pepsi and Coke?
Man, tell this fool to keep up. I ain't got time to babysit him. What I'm saying is LeBron James, despite just being a statuesque figure and turning this thing in his favor regardless, because it was hard for bigger people to be very marketable, right? So to be able to turn that on his head, to be able to create, like, not just shovel out money to all of his friends. Like, no, go to college, go get your business degrees, learn how to do something. I'll invest in you if I think you're worthy enough to invest in. Hence the Carters and the Reeses and the other guy who's got the agency. Like, he literally has his friends. Like, he's bought into soccer, the biggest sport on the planet. He's bought into that what was it? The media, right? Working with, not for, with HBO. That's a huge distinction. Being one of 3 athletes ever to be in a billionaire status before he's even done retiring, and he can go collect these ridiculous contracts just talking about how he put on his shoes one step at a time. I'm just telling you, I think LeBron James, if there was a 20-year head start and he's looking at everybody, I think he's the type of mindset that he would have been able to flip that regardless, because he's doing it now. Whereas Jordan kind of laughed at this stuff and said, I don't need that. I'm Michael Jordan. Maybe it would have been different, but I'm just saying, one guy is just more likable, one guy isn't. And I think social media would have absolutely changed that. What are we promoting? We'll start with the Young Bloods before we get y'all out of here. Shout out the podcast, whatever you guys are doing. And please, pretty please, end with shout out to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. Something to that effect. Make it your own.
Absolutely. I got it. So, yeah, we are just so excited to be in our community, man. That's really what it's about. We started Moses Project about 2 years ago. And we got an emphasis on really being hope and light in our community, bringing resources, opportunities, and exposure to young and old, strengthening family life, teaching financial literacy, blessing our teachers, our coaches, coming alongside people that are really in the trenches in our community. We believe in building up the esteem and the dignity of people, letting them know, man, that they could be victorious. We are pastors. We just planted a church here, and we're excited to continue to build and to grow closer to the Lord and bring people into relationship with God as well. We're big on Sunday, and then what do you do after Sunday? So we don't want to be twiddling our thumbs Monday through Saturday. We want to be out in the community, serving the people, loving the people. We also got a podcast coming up, the Royal Podcast. We looking to premiere tomorrow. A little sneak plug there. But we're trying to make sure we got all our ducks in a row and things like that. But we are truly blessed, man. So honored to be on the show. Let's talk with Gales and Dean. Man, this is a great show. Super proud of y'all. Excited for everywhere and everything that y'all gonna do with this show, man. Great content, great conversation. So, man, continue to rock it for sure.
Tame, send us home, big dog.
Send us home. What a frap for? Dad gummit. Get him a frap out of here. Dad gummit. I set him up beautifully. Dad gummit. Tame. Anything that you're promoting, anything that you're doing in the community that you would like to now take the time to do that, and also shout out the show. Dad gummit, team.
Well, at this point, man, I mean, I've been on so many times, and I've kind of kept y'all on the that I have going on, and I just appreciate y'all, like having me on, having the coaching staff on to be able to spread the word on coaching, and for us to be able to, give our girls the praise that they deserve. Because I mean, we did some things this year that hadn't been done in a long time. District championship, region semis. I mean, we were one shot away from, the region championship. And from there, there's no telling what we could have done. But just looking forward, to what these girls are going to do next year, returning a strong group, so I want to keep the focus on them. As they're out working right now, we got girls playing other sports that are shining. Shout out to Kayana, one of my stoppers. She's on the rugby and got player of the week. We just have so many girls that are just elevating, on the court, off the court, on the field. So I'm really looking forward, to next year, with the girls.
Shout out to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. Come on now. Come on now.
I gave y'all a shout out earlier.
No. I want to retake. Take
probably
3.
gave me on mute. Paying no attention. See, that's what it was.
My bad. Go ahead. And action.
Shout out to Let's Talk to Gales and Dean. Like I said, I mean, I think I need an emblem somewhere in here with the Untamed Fitness logo. You know what I mean? Because I've been on here so long, you know. So I'm gonna talk about royalty check and all of that stuff, you know, here when we get backstage. I'm
gonna send you a private message here. Okay, wait a minute. Let's pause the show. Sorry, audience. Hang on. Asked for it. Boom. There it is. Wait for it. Oh, there it is. Okay, Coach Anderson. Coach Anderson, come on with it.
Support our kids, support our girls. You know, one of the things that we talk about all the time, like our staff has said, is culture. But we want to give our kids opportunities, you know, off the basketball court. You know, we are trying so hard to, and our community like loves to see everybody be successful, but we want their help in giving these kids more. You know, a lot of them had never been to the lake. So this past season, we took them in the summertime, we took them on a boat, on a pontoon, had a speedboat out there. We want to take them to Florida. We've been invited to, I think, 2 or 3 tournaments in Florida that we just can't afford to take the kids to. You know, so we're constantly looking for sponsors. You know, we don't want to do a team fee because, you know, we don't want our parents to have to pay for anything except for gas and to buy their ticket, because we know that there's other things that families need to take care of. And so we want people to come and show their support, show up at the games, not at 6:45 like the young blood said. You know, come and watch our girls, because whenever you talk about wanting to watch women's basketball and dogs the way that you saw in the national championship game and pretty much all throughout the NCAA, you know, that's what you're going to get with our kids, because they fight like that day in and day out. So, you know, we would love to see some people come through that would love to sponsor our trip to take them to Florida, you know, for a tournament. We have all kinds of things that we want to be able to do for them. Team bonding events, you know, pregame meals, we always keep a pantry, you know, if kids are hungry during the day. You know, anything that people want to provide and support, we would just love to have it. But at the end of the day, come watch our kids, get to know them. Don't stereotype them. Don't have a bad perception of them, because our kids never get in trouble. They all have, you know, there might be a few seasoned Ds, but for the most part, we're holding a 3.0 GPA. All of our seniors have signed a volleyball scholarship or 3 basketball scholarships. You know, everybody is working really hard. They are bought into each other. They love each other. We love who our staff is. We love who our kids are. We love our community. And we want to uplift not just our girls, but everybody within it, because Columbia is an absolutely special place, special kids, special people, special parents. And we want to invite everybody to be a part of the culture and the community, because it's bigger than us. You know, we have preachers. You know, Rachel didn't say it, but she's also she has a background in psychology. So she's great for us. You have Tame, who no referee is going to come for any of us, because as soon as he stands up, you know, them shoulder pads are coming out. So, but also it's just the way that we are together. I couldn't be more blessed to be back in a community that I love, to have the 2 best people. The first call I made was to Courtney whenever I got the job. And then by God's grace, it was like we saw Edwin not too long after that. And we just knew, okay, this is who our staff needs to be. And so just what we're building and who we are, I would love to see our young women see that, okay, we have people that are here for us, because that's important. And always big shout out to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean, our childhood friends. It's so fun to get to see you all and see the success of everybody. It's joyful.
Mr. Joke. This guy. Okay. Listen, man, thank all of you for being on. This is usually the time where I let y'all go to the green room, get you a snack, some juice, cookies, or whatever in the back room there. But Dean has left the building. So you guys are now you have to deal with my dad joke. Here we go. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
Did you find that on a Laffy Taffy wrapper?
Get her out of here. Okay, now here's what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. Listen, please, talking to the audience now. Go out and support them individually. The Coach Youngbloods, the IFBB Pro, Courtney English, and Coach Mrs. Megan Moore. Please, just please go support. One of the things, I guess I got the last word. Dean's not coming back. So one of the things we're trying to get through with these little shows that we do, okay, is to think a little bit further outside of your comfort zone. It's one of the hardest things to do, to burn the dead wood that is your own deficiencies. I know, I'm still in it. That's why we love doing this show. We love y'all seeing the raw emotions, the conversation, as well as our many mistakes and our many successes. We want you all to grow with you. If you're doing a podcast out there, hit us up. Hit up Who Dat. Hit up the people that are in your town, right? Gales, you're wrong. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. So I want everybody to start figuring out how they can come together, have some meaningful, hard conversations. And how you know you're having that, you really have to risk offense. You have to risk offending each other. That's how we grow together. That's the little space between order and chaos that allows for some real change of thought. And once we start to change that, my goodness, no one can pull the wool over our eyes because we see them coming a mile away. And each one help one, and we can get to some very, very interesting places. And it doesn't have to be me versus anyone. It could be us versus insert negative thing here. I was appalled to see such a brilliant night. Like, shout out to the men who still almost doubled the ratings, but the game was way more interesting this year on the women's side. And I hope this is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg of what's to come for the ladies, women's sports all over. I really do. But I hate that it became about black versus white, left versus right. The ladies need to act like young ladies. And like, no, it's ball, it's sports. It's supposed to be the last Pierce thing. I love boxing. Boxing is one of my favorite examples. I get in the ring, you get in the ring. There's no hiding. There's nobody to blame. If I drop my hands and get hit in the jaw and pass the frap out, it's my fault. And they get up after getting whooped and you say, hey man, good shot. See you next time. And that's what we're trying to do. So in the meantime, I hope everybody takes something positive from this. Thank our guests for being on. Y'all have a wonderful, I didn't know we had a psychoanalytical degree hiding amongst us. We're going to have to invite her back by herself, man. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Peace, love, and grow. That gummit. We're going to do an old school Marvel thing because I just saw your message. Listen, I don't know if y'all can see this. I can't find my actual glasses. All I have are my backups, and my backups are struggling. So I don't know if y'all saw me leaning like an old man trying to read all these comments and produce behind the scenes, right? But I just saw your message. Let me see. Copy. Where is it? This is what I mean by seeing our strengths and weaknesses. Copy link. Yes, I would like to put it in the comments. Yes. Okay. Folks, there's a link right there. Coach Anderson, will you tell us a little bit about this link?
So we've talked with our bookkeeper about, hey, it would be easier if we had like a Cash App or Venmo. Obviously, like there's regulations like through the school and through the bookkeeper. But we do have a website right there that'll be linked. You can go in and click on girls basketball. We do have options to become a sponsor, and there's different levels of sponsorships. But if you just want to donate just to help us get where we want to go, every single penny that we get every single year goes back to the girls. We budgeted every year. It's close to $20,000 that we spend on the girls. And that's with, it costs us $3,000 in buses. just to travel back and forth to the games. And so there's a lot of, there's a lot of money that we raise that actually gets pulled from our budget for things that we can't help. So we're a school-based team in the public school, but we still have to pay for our own public school buses and transportation. That also goes with, fees that it costs to go to tournaments during the summertime. We want to make sure that our kids have every sort of apparel that they could possibly need. We want to make sure that they have a pregame meal, they have snacks, they have drinks. And so there's a lot of money that's invested, into these young women. And so to be able, we probably need another 10 grand to be able to take the girls down to Florida, let them experience the beach, let them see other teams. And that's kind of what we need the money to give the girls. We want to give them the world. And that's what we're trying to do. And we do need people's help to be able to do that.
Amen. Each one help one. Man, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and hit the link to take us off live.